Welcome to the Fertility Coaching Mastery Podcast. I'm Dr. Kela Smith, fertility and hormone expert and founder of the Hormone Puzzle Society. I help wellness professionals like chiropractors, acupuncturists, doulas, nutritionists, personal trainers, and health coaches integrate fertility coaching into their work and build thriving, purpose-driven practices. I also work with beginners who are ready to step into this work and use their own painful story for their purpose. If you're ready to confidently support fertility clients, attract aligned clients, and grow a business that truly makes an impact, you're in the right place. Now let's dive in. Hey, business bestie. Welcome back to Fertility Coaching Mastery Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Kela Smith. For those of you who don't know me, I am a holistic doctor who specializes in fertility and hormones. I'm the founder of the Hormone Puzzle Society and the Hormone Puzzle Society's Educational Institute. And today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite things that I do in my practice. And this topic and this strategy, it really separates good fertility coaches from great fertility coaches. And what am I talking about today? I'm talking about microbiome testing. And before we dive in, I want to get clear on something. This episode is not about diagnosing or treating medical conditions. As fertility coaches and those aspiring to be, that is not our role. Our role is to educate, empower, support, and help our clients understand the bigger picture and what might be causing their infertility in the first place so that they can take their health into their own hands and heal and optimize. And if you've listened to me for any length of time, you know that one of the things that I teach inside our fertility and hormone coach certification program is that fertility, it's never just about the reproductive system. Fertility is a sign and symptom, and it's connected to your entire body. So if you're struggling with infertility or you're helping a client who's struggling with infertility, look at every system. Do not just look at the reproductive system. And this is one of the biggest pieces that I think get missed, and that's the gut. The gut impacts every piece of our body because it's where we absorb our nutrients. It's how we get our vitamins and minerals. It's where our immune system is housed. And so fertility conversations really need to be focused around the gut before we talk about anything else. And that's very different from what conventional medicine does. And that's honestly where you can shine as a fertility coach, because most fertility conversations, they center around the reproductive system and around hormones. And I do talk about these pieces. They are a part of it. Things like estrogen, progesterone, ovulation, AMH, IVF protocols even, and sperm counts, and all of that matters. But also new research is showing, and really not even new, over the last 5 years, I would say, research is emerging around how much gut health influences all of our systems, especially our reproductive system. And the gut also influences things like inflammation, what I said earlier, nutrient absorption, immune function, metabolism, and all of that can impact fertility. So as a coach, you need to be thinking and looking at a person's gut health. And that's why some of the smartest fertility coaches and practitioners I know really pay attention to the microbiome. And again, it's not because we're diagnosing. We're not replacing doctors. It's because these coaches understand that fertility doesn't happen in isolation. And that's what I want you to understand. It happens within a body that's either functioning optimally or struggling with underlying imbalances. And that's also one of the biggest mistakes that I see newer fertility coaches make is they think their job is accountability. And while accountability is important and mindset is important and support is important, but today's fertility clients are really looking for more than that. They want somebody who understands how all the pieces fit together, somebody that asks better questions and advocates for them, somebody who understands unexplained infertility and thinks about it as it's not as unexplained as it appears. That was my issue. I was diagnosed with unexplained infertility, and it was actually many things Gut health was one of them, but I had had IBS for many, many years. I had had HA, which was undiagnosed, hypothalamic amenorrhea, where I lost my cycle from overexercise, under eating. And so I want those listening, especially if you're a coach, but if you're thinking about becoming a coach, we really need to think about getting trained on some of these more alternative strategies. And that's where microbiome testing comes in, and it's incredibly valuable. And when we look at a microbiome test, we're not just looking at bacteria. I'm looking at patterns. I'm looking at inflammation. What is the story there? I'm looking at how much diversity the client has, how much digestive function they have. Do they have opportunistic bacteria, or is their short chain fatty acid production out of balance? Is their gut affecting their hormones and their estrogen and how it's being detoxed? And I'm really looking for clues. And that is what a functional test can show you. It can show you the deeper root causes and the clues that are causing the issue that the client is struggling with. And I see this a lot too. Many people will be told that their labs are normal. They have that unexplained infertility. Their cycles are normal. Everything looks normal, but they're still struggling with infertility, with recurrent pregnancy loss, with hormone imbalance, with digestive issues, fatigue, inflammation. And that's where microbiome testing can really shine and help us to understand why. And just to give you an example, if somebody has significant dysbiosis, low microbial diversity, elevated inflammatory markers, and poor short-chain fatty acid production, those findings can tell us the areas that need support the most. Again, we're not diagnosing, we're treating what we see on that test through holistic means. And we're also helping our clients understand their bodies on a deeper level. And that's one of the things that I teach our students within the Fertility and Hormone Coach Certification Program, is that fertility is evolving, and coaches who are going to thrive over the next decade are going to be the ones who know how to read functional labs, who know how to write protocols around them, but who also understand how to use that information to create specific protocols around nutrition and lifestyle and stress and sleep and how it all ties together. And again, this doesn't mean you need to be a doctor. It just means that you need to be educated on how all of this works together. Because a client who comes to you who has PCOS or maybe endo, or they've had recurrent miscarriages or unexplained infertility, they've had a failed IVF cycle, they're looking for somebody who understands the bigger picture, who can help them connect the dots, and the microbiome is a big part of those dots. Another reason I love microbiome testing is that it really differentiates you from other coaches. The coaching industry is crowded. Let's be honest about that. It is crowded. There's so many health coaches and wellness coaches and advocates and all of these people claiming that they know health, but very few understand how to incorporate functional lab testing into their practice. And very few of, even of that pool of people really know how to look at microbiome data and use it as an educational tool to support clients. And that's one of the reasons I spend so much time teaching functional labs within our certification program, because I want our students to feel confident. I want them to understand what they're looking at, how to incorporate it into their practice, and how to become trusted experts in this space. And I also, at the end of the day, microbiome testing, it's not about the test itself. It's about helping the client uncover the missing pieces of their fertility puzzle so they can finally get pregnant and have optimal health. And it's also about becoming the fertility coach that sees beyond symptoms and helps their client understand a deeper story. And so if you're listening today and you're thinking about becoming a fertility coach, or you're already a practitioner, but you want to add fertility coaching to your practice, especially if you want to add functional lab testing like microbiome testing or the Dutch test or DNA testing, mycotoxins testing, any of the functional lab testing that you're thinking about adding, that's what we teach within our fertility and hormone coach certification program. And so if you're interested in that, your first step is to grab my free fertility coach roadmap. It's a guide I put together on some of the first steps that I would take if I was you trying to start a fertility coaching practice. So you can grab that at fertilitycoachingmastery.com. And thank you so much for being here. If you've ever considered being a certified fertility coach, you are in the right place. And I hope this podcast becomes one of your favorites. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you back here next week. I hope you have an amazing week, and bye for now. If this episode resonated with you, make sure you've subscribed so you never miss a new one. And if you found this helpful, I would love for you to leave a review or share it with another practitioner who's ready to step into fertility coaching. You can also download the Fertility Coaching Roadmap in the show notes to start to build your next level of impact. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode, because the world needs more supported fertility journeys and more practitioners like you leading the way.